We're joined now in the booth by former governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson.
Thank you. Nice to be with you guys.
Thanks for being here, Governor. Of course, you worked for President Clinton in the cabinet. You campaigned against and then for President Obama. What are you expecting tonight? It's an amazing moment where the former president vouching for the current one.
I think there's symbolism, there's a metaphor out there, and this is the metaphor. President Clinton had a surplus. He had a balanced budget. He had technology jobs, millions of new jobs. They were taken away when a Republican president came in. That surplus disappeared. I think it's not a question of like validating President Obama. He's simply saying President Obama should be given another 4 years. I was given 4 additional years to give us this excellent economy, and this president deserves it because he stands with us, because he's got the right things. He just needs support from the other side.
But there is a big difference when Bill Clinton came to the stage in 1996. Obviously, the economy was a lot better, but also this was a president that, like Barack Obama, went through a very tough midterm, lost control of Congress, but then tacked over, some would say he tacked to the right, but certainly moved to the center, started working with Republicans, passing legislation with Newt Gingrich. This president hasn't been able to do that. So at what point does that become part of the real distinction between these two presidents?
Well, if you'll recall, for all the demonizing of Newt Gingrich, he did work with President Clinton.
So you wish you had a Newt Gingrich as Speaker now?
Well, no, I'm just saying that he worked with me on passing NAFTA. I was one of the few Democrats from NAFTA. He and I combined. It was obviously the White House helped, and he got more Republican votes than Democratic votes. But there was that still remaining spirit of bipartisanship. When President Obama came into office his second year, the Republican leader said, our objective is to defeat him, not give him anything, not give him any bit of help. I mean, when you have that attitude, when you have the Tea Party literally dominating the Republican Party, it's very hard to get anything done.
So we're at an era now where Republicans are pining for the Clinton era and Democrats are pining for Newt Gingrich. Wow. I never thought we would say that.
No, look, all I'm saying is that this is a different era. And President Clinton, I think, is going to embrace President Obama as he should. They're working together. They're different kind of people. Obama is cool. Clinton is a schmoozer. He's a people person. Obama is more intellectual, more technical. Both are great speakers. But I think it's a merging of the party, the centrist, the moderate party with a progressive side. Obama is both. Clinton was both. And that's what's going to happen tonight.
What's changed with the energy? What's changed with the enthusiasm? What's changed with the party that clearly Barack Obama didn't need Bill Clinton's active support 4 years ago and so clearly does now?
Well, look, this is going to be a very, very tight race. Who's going to decide this race? It's going to be whether you motivate women again, whether you motivate young people, minorities, and you're going to motivate independent voters. Now, Bill Clinton is strong with all of these. We're talking about 6 or 7 states. Clinton was the first Democratic president to win states like New Mexico in a long time, Colorado, Nevada. Clinton won Montana. I don't think Obama's able to do that one.
Yeah,
but
I'm not going to put that on the map. Yeah.
No, don't put it on the map. North Carolina, maybe. But I've been sitting here, and I just think the election will be settled by the Hispanic vote, by Nevada, Colorado, Florida. This was why I was personally afraid that Rubio would get on the ticket. I got to admit that. I'm glad he's not on the ticket because I think these states on the immigration, on the DREAM Act issue, you heard a lot of that tonight on the issue of Hispanic being part of the American dream. These are the states that are going to settle the election, and you got to get those Hispanic voters to do what they've always done with people like Bill Clinton, get 65% of the national Hispanic vote. I think President Obama is going to do it. I see very little chance that Mitt Romney will get what George Bush got in his 2 elections, which is about 40% of the Hispanic vote.
So you look at North Carolina, and what you're a little skeptical, it sounds like, of being able to win this state again.
Well, I've talked to a lot of people here who've been here. You know, I'm now a 2-day expert.
Yes, of course.
But,
we all are.
Yeah,
I'm an expert on the restaurants, so.
And there are a few biased people that I talk to. But I think we have a shot. You know, the high-tech corridor, the university corridor here, the African-American vote, and 13% Hispanic vote in this state.
Yeah.
So I think it's doable, but I wouldn't put it in the toss-up leaning Democrat column. I'd put it as a toss-up. And that's the same with the Colorado and Nevada and Florida. You know, it's going to be a very close race, and you need every possible vote. You got to motivate your base. This is what's happening here.
What is the secret to the Hispanic vote? What do Democrats have to do? We saw that parade of prominent Republicans last week. A little bit lighter of a bench this week, although we had Mayor Castro last night. But what is it? Is there some key in terms of relating to the Hispanic vote that's going to make this happen?
I think you got to relate to them as Americans, not just as Latinos. You know, the day where you trot out the mariachis and speak a little Spanish, you don't do that anymore. You say, I'm going to create jobs, I'm going to find ways to educate you, but then you got to give them a sense that you're on our side, like immigration, like the DREAM Act. You know, when Romney said he's going to veto it, you know, these are soldiers, American soldiers that simply want, you know, a path to legalization. You get a sense that maybe they're not very welcome in that party. But I got to hand it to Republicans. They have more national and statewide elected officials than we do.
And why is that?
I don't know.
Come on, you have a theory.
Well, I have a theory that I think they were very good at recruiting in the last cycle. And sometimes, you know, Democrats are not good with Hispanics when it comes to redistricting. They rather keep the incumbent and, you know, find ways to keep incumbent protection there. I think that has to change in our party. And Republicans, I think, were a little better at that, recruiting and some of the redistricting issues. But when it comes to issues, I think Democrats are far better, far stronger. And President Obama is, I believe, going to have huge support in the Hispanic community, but it's turnout. We want everyone voting. We want them to turn out en masse, not just turn out as a percentage.
Right. Before you go, has your long-running now feud with Bill Clinton thought at all? Are you talking to him at all? Is it repaired, the relationship?
No, the feud is ongoing and probably permanent. I've tried to reach out to him, but he doesn't care about guys like me. You know, he doesn't. You know, he feels that if he were running, if he had been I would have endorsed him. But it was Secretary Clinton, who I like too. But I thought there was something special about Obama. But you know, he wants to continue isolating me, bad-mouthing me. Fine, right. I'm fine. I'm doing very well.